What's up, guys? I'm here today with Mason Creasy. He's a freshman pitcher at Murray State College, and we're going to be doing the normal podcast thing where we just interview him, talk a little baseball, talk a little about personal life. Anything you want to say before? No?
I'm good.
You're ready? Just ready to get into it?
I'm ready to get into it.
All right. So I got a couple of questions lined up. Obviously, we're going to end up talking more, but I think I thought of some pretty good questions, if I have to say so. And for starters, you're a starting pitcher. You're a pretty freaking good one, if I got to say.
Thank you.
But do you ever think of like what you would do if baseball didn't work out? You know?
No, I'm living on the street. That's kind of my goal.
That's it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. If baseball doesn't work out, I'm living on the street. Now, I probably wouldn't live on the street, but I don't know what I would do, to be honest.
Like you don't even think about it?
I mean, I probably have a decent job, but I don't think about it. I say I live on the street, so I don't.
You're just like setting the bar low for that, so you have to set the bar high.
I just tell my mom that.
Fair
just
enough.
to make her feel happy.
I mean, I'm sure you'll have a college degree. Like if baseball didn't work out, like
yeah, I'm pretty sure something will be fine, but we're striving for the top.
At
least get to pro ball is kind of the whole point.
Like whether you just end at rookie ball, like something happened.
Yeah.
It's like injuries do happen.
I at least want to get drafted. That's the whole goal.
I know you've been just about the healthiest pitcher we've had this year.
Sometimes I am in pain, but
I mean, like when it comes to you haven't missed anything.
No.
You've never felt like pain to the point where you need to leave a game.
That's true, because usually I'm sore, but usually after you take a hefty amount of pre-workout and adrenaline starts pumping, you don't feel anything at that point.
It's just, but I mean, I don't get that privilege of being like, yo, baseball, nothing but baseball. That's what this whole thing is for, honestly. It's really just set up like a career path for me past college.
It is nice and easy.
I mean, it looks a lot easier than it is, but
I know it's pretty hard.
It is a fun. It's fun. It's a lot more fun than your normal
9 to 5.
I'm going to sit down and write reports for a company and get paid $100,000 a year. No, I'm going to try to get paid $100,000 a year to do this.
That's true.
And it is very expensive. It's not that part sucks, but
you have to get the good equipment.
Well, you're from Houston, Houston area. We'll just say Houston. Does it feel weird moving from one of the largest cities in the world to the middle of nowhere? Like we are in the middle of nowhere, southern Oklahoma. There's nothing ever going on around us.
Well, my grandparents live in kind of the same surroundings, so that part is not like I've seen it before. But living every day, because I'll probably go like a week, but I was like 10. So, like, you don't really remember that. But, like, it does suck in some points because, like, there's good things and bad things. Like, the bad things is, like, you can't just go out and do something. Like, you can't just go buy something. Can't go to, like, Ross or TJ Maxx. You have to drive an hour. At home, it takes me, like, 15 minutes, and you're there.
And it's just because of traffic. It's not because you're not there.
And so, here, it's like, if you want to go somewhere like that, you're going an hour. Yeah, and like Walmart is fun. A fun trip.
Walmart, it's
a fun trip.
30-minute trips there and back to Walmart.
Yeah, but the perks about it is like you get to basically live baseball every day. Like you wake up, that's all you really think about because you wake up and like you can't just
practice.
Yeah, you just can't go anywhere.
What are you doing at practice?
And then plus all your friends are here. Like the one thing I did explain to my parents is like, at home, if I want to go see my friends, I'm driving a good 10 minutes to go see them. Here, I just walk to someone's door. And it's easy.
They might not be happy that you knocked on their door.
Oh yeah, especially when I take my naps, I do get pretty mad. But like if I want to go see Reagan, I'll just go knock on his door and he's right there. And like if I need him or Cam or someone I need him, just go knock on the door instead of having to call them, get a hold of them. It was a lot easier, but there are some good things about it
and none of us are busy.
That's true, but like you can't really do much stupid stuff here. I mean, I don't go party anyways. I usually stay here.
I'm the same way.
I don't really like it anyways, but like, I mean, there's not much you can do to
keep out of trouble. Yeah,
that's true.
Like, I mean, obviously, even if you don't party at big universities and stuff, especially when you're a sport, you're an athlete, you're going to get invited to pretty much everything. And at one point, you're going to get dragged into it, and that could be the time you get in trouble. That just doesn't really happen here. I feel like there are some nights I wish, even though I'm not a partier, there's just some nights I wish we would go out to the lake or do something. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's
that's why Walmart runs are fine because
people when I try to explain to them what Tishman is like, I'm like, I grew up in a city not your kind of city. I grew up in a city of 35,000, and so I explained to them, I'm living somewhere with 2,000 people maybe, and that's just counting everybody. That's counting the people who are dead. And we have 6 restaurants. We don't have a Walmart or a McDonald's, which when I tell people we don't have a McDonald's, they're
they're just
mind blown. So if you want to go, you're grocery shopping, that's not Walmart. You drive 5 minutes down the road to the Dollar General Market, and it's just, that adjustment was a little off, but it was also nicer not being in a big city, in my opinion. That was a big reason why I came here.
Yeah, because big cities, they do suck sometimes. There's some problems with it, but at the same time, there's stuff that does, you're at your friend's house, you're like, hey, let's go get something to eat. You just drive 5 minutes and then you have choices. Here it's you have to pick what you want, because if you pick one thing, you can't change it because that's a good hour, 30-minute drive.
Do you ever find yourself, whenever you're home, do you ever find yourself being man, I'm kind of ready to go back? Because I know all the time we're ready to leave.
Oh yeah, because especially the last semester, I was I want to go home. And then now, when you're here, you're yeah, I want to go home. But when you go home, it's again, you miss all your friends and because that spring break, I needed it. I needed to go home. I was getting flustered with people. I was starting to get mad. But after a while, you go home and you're just I really do miss being on myself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's also probably part of it, being on your own, away from your parents. I'm sure your parents probably smother you a little bit. I know mine do. So. Yeah. What are you, 18 or 19?
19.
Your birthday is in August, right?
September.
Damn it.
You were close.
I remember talking about it. This is September 9th.
4th.
Fuck me.
You were close.
Closer than Reagan was that day.
Close. What did Reagan say, January or something?
He was convinced. No, I'm pretty sure he was convinced your birthday was that day.
Probably. I've told Reagan before multiple times, but he still will never forget.
Yeah, I'm not I remember talking that day, and I remember it being right after, right at the end of the summer months, early in whatever month it was. But were you born in 2001? Mm-hmm. Man, so you were born a week before 9/11.
Yeah, basically. I do flex on my friends sometimes.
Flex on them?
Yeah, because sometimes because one time I was in the car with one of my friends who were yeah, how does it feel to be born before 9/11? I was I don't know, it's just normal. And then now I'm hey, 9/11, before 9/11.
Before 9/11. Yeah. I'm young as hell. I'm 9 months after 9/11.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't even remember it. I was
you were 7 days. Yeah. 7 days.
So,
past baseball though, you're a college freshman, on your own for your first time. How has adjusting to college been?
Sucks.
It's pretty bad. I agree. But.
Well, you'll get used to it, but I'll probably get used to it. But it's different because you obviously in high school they teach you, but they don't teach you life. Because not only are you doing schoolwork, you're doing life basically without a 9-to-5 job. Basically baseball is a 9-to-5 job. You're just not getting paid while you're doing homework.
Oh yeah.
And so it is different because you have to schedule your times out because you need to eat here, you need to go to practice here, you need to do this homework here, you got to get this before 12, you got to do this, and it sucks, but it'll finally get better. I feel as next year it'll probably be a lot better.
Oh yeah, it seems like the 2 years here, the second year's here. It's
you'll just find the strats. There's strats to everything.
We'll figure it out eventually. Have the guys being here helped you adjust to it at all?
Some have. There are obviously some leaders on this team that's helped, Corley, Cam. Those are guys I do look up to, and they've helped on and off the field. And then you obviously have people I'm going to say Tubb, but Reagan, people that you're in class with mostly Kylan.
Like little study group kind of thing.
Yeah, those help.
Help you make sure you're getting your work done.
Yeah, and then like them just helping you do your work is a lot easier. So I think having someone in the same class as you helps tremendously to get it done. Because like if you're in a class by yourself, for one, the motivation's not there, and second, you can't really cheat or help yourself in any way. So having someone there does help, but it makes it better, I should say.
Whenever you went home, and you have your family friends ask you, "Oh, how's college?" You know what I mean? Did you ever get the question of like, "What's it like going to college while this whole Corona thing's going on?" Like, no.
No, actually, no. Because honestly, being in a small town, especially in Oklahoma, there's not really much you can.
Well, I mean,
because like, how many people you go to the store and see? Like, you go to Walmart and people just don't have their shoes on, no socks and shoes walking. They're not scared of Corona, for one.
Yeah, that's true.
There's really not that much difference. The only thing we do is wear masks now in the campus, and I mean, I'm pretty sure in obviously like Tech, OU, OSU, Texas, A&M, they're probably more mask mandated, but I mean, really, we're not that different. I mean, I think the only difference is because now we're all go in the locker room. We don't go in 6 or whatever it was. Now all we do is take temperatures. I feel like that's the only thing that's different.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel like the most major difference was just like last semester, especially not being able to go home. Like,
yeah, we only got like 3 times.
Yeah, and they're very short periods of time. It's like you can be home. You can leave Friday after your classes, and then you have to be back by 6 p.m. on Sunday. Like 48 hours. Even spring break, we got 3 days, like less than 3 days.
Yeah, basically.
Felt like 10 minutes, but
it did. I wish we got a little bit longer. I understand we had a game on Friday, but I wish we did have a little bit longer.
All right, this one pertains to the college theme here. What has been your favorite memory off the field in college so far?
I really have to think about this one. Off.
I have a good feeling it's going to involve Reagan.
Yesterday on the bus was pretty good with Reagan. Like I've never cried laughing in a long time without Reagan because he was retarded yesterday. But I'm trying to think of something that was not pertaining to baseball. So I'm trying to think. I feel like there was something that happened. I probably have to go through my memories to think about it. Is that legal? Can I go through my memories?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, because I feel like there's something is there. Say, let's go to college. First week. Nope, that's not first week. Doink. Okay. I got one, but we're going to save that one for just in case if I can't find anything. Off the field. Okay, so one of the memories I can tell you is the time that me and Isaiah, my old roommate, we got quarantined because Bobby had a 100-degree fever, and he didn't even have corona. He just had a headache, or he had some infection. I forgot what it was. I couldn't name it off the top of my head, but he had an infection, or he had a headache. And I remember Isaiah told him, "Hey, take some ibuprofen or Tylenol, you'll feel better." He took it and still went to the hospital. Well, then Bobby's like, "Hey," I was with them, and we're like, and so I remember Ed kind of knock on our door, and he was like, "Yeah, we gotta go." And I was like, and I remember we stayed in the hotel, not the hotel, but that short building. Have you been in there?
No, I haven't.
By the way, it's creepy. So it's like the wind's blowing. One of the doors just open automatically. Like it just randomly opens as we're about to go in. I remember Isaiah looked at me and goes, "Oh God." And I was just like, it's fine. So how it is so you have your own restroom and shower. That's nice. But you have a kitchen, a big fridge, and then you have your little couch area, and then you have 3 rooms. Well, finally we get our own rooms. But he has to sleep next to me on so our mattress, you have the mattress, it's like this, you have the mattress and then you have that metal thing. Well, he's laying on the metal thing because it's a mattress metal thing, and then it's each room and each bed and he's sleeping because he's scared. And I'm like, "Dude, this is our only time to get a freaking bed." And he was like crying, and I was like, "Dude, please give me a break."
Scared? Like, was he scared of the building or the?
Yeah, he was scared of just the place in general. But then I'd probably say the next thing would probably went to the OU game because everyone kind of made it sound like it was about to be.
I enjoyed it. I mean,
horrible.
Like 80% of it was literally just standing there watching the game.
Yeah, that's basically what I did, and everybody's made it sound like we're about to get. Because I've heard stories like Reagan has like funny stories about how people would come in and be like, "Hey, where's this?" And Reagan's like, "I don't know. I don't work here," and they get mad at him. And I think that's the funniest thing because like someone actually did it to Scriber. Someone was like, "Hey, where's this at?" And he's like, "I don't know. I don't work here." And they're like, "How?" You literally a security guard who's like, "You don't understand. Like, I don't want to be here. Like, we're just here because we got told to."
Yeah, no, it's like...
And like that's kind of how it was because I remember one time I was doing it. I mean, it was fun because I've never really watched a football game before like that. I've obviously watched high school, but like an actual televised game in like or like NFL. Never been to one, so I thought it was cool. And then so I'm sitting there, and I remember I think it was Chuck. Chuck was down at the last row. I was up top, and I was going to go say something to Chuck. So I go down, and this is not even my supervisor, by the way. I don't know who this guy was, but he started yelling at me, "Get back to my post." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Get back to your post." And I'm like, I have to tell him something. He goes, "No, you don't." It's like, okay. So I just went back up and did not do my job. I remember Cyrus was to my right. I feel like Cyrus fell asleep for a moment. Like I feel like he was actually out. And then half everybody just left. There was one time I look over, Cyrus is gone. So I'm like, okay. And finally I asked the same guy, I was like, "Hey, can I have a break?" He's like, "No." And I was like, "Everyone else?" He's like, "No." I finally went to my supervisor, I was like, "Hey, everybody's getting on break, can I have a break?" And finally let me and Bobby go. But that was a good memory right there. And then
I thoroughly enjoyed the game. Like that's a big game. I'm an OU fan. Like that was.
But the one moment I'll give you that was actually fun was when this makes my life sound boring, but there's probably something I just don't remember it. Oh, okay, I'll give you two more stories. This one, the second one's actually a really funny story. The first one is about when everyone went. I don't know. Did you go to the Seminole game when you went away?
Yeah, I went to every. Yeah.
Okay, because we did. Me and Doink not. So me, Doink, and Tub stayed back here, and I was like, "This is gonna be fun. Like we just get to chill." And then like 20 minutes in, you're like, "This is boring. Like no one's here.
Nobody's here."
And so we went to the casino. Well, Doink wanted me to gamble, and I was like, "I don't have money." He's like, "I'll give you $7." I was like, "Perfect. Like I'll just gamble that." And I've gambled before, and it's fun, but I don't like
have a problem.
Like I don't shoot for like throw hundreds in. I throw like 20s in.
Winning. Did you ever hear about the story of me winning?
Oh yeah, I heard.
Yeah, 2600.
So I was sitting there. We're playing. He made me play what's it? Triple blackjack. What do they call it? Multi-hand blackjack. And I'm playing that, and I already lost, but Doink is throwing money, and he's betting big, and I keep on making him like so. Like he won like big. I think he won like $60 or something. So I was like, throw another 20 in. Throws it in, loses it all. It's like, throw another 20 in. Throws it in, loses it all. It's like, throw it again. Throws it in, loses it all, goes back and pulls more money. And I was like, all right, let's win it back. Then he wins. Wins like 40. I was like, throw it in there, Doink. He wins again. It's like, throw it in there. It's just a 20. Throw it in. He just kept on losing, winning, losing. And finally he threw one in, lost it all. Pulled another 20 out. Put it in there. Won big. I was like, you have nothing to lose anymore. Like if you lose this 20, whatever. Throws it in, wins big. Like he won all of it back. And I was like, throw a 20 in. He's like, okay. So he throws another 20 in, loses it. And I think he's up like 60 on the day. And I was like, throw another 20. He's like, no. I was like, no, you gotta throw another one. Like I have videos of me watching him lose, and it's so funny. But this next story is between me, Bobby, Luke when he was still here, and Isaiah.
We can get into the Luke thing here in a bit.
Oh,
hell, I might walk over there and get Bobby.
Thinking about Luke, I have more stories with Luke. But so Luke is here, and we go to Academy. I'll also tell you about the time my car broke down. I'll tell you that story too. That's another great story. Screw Oklahoma. You got to get a great topic on this one. I'll get you another story too. So me, Luke, Bobby, and Isaiah, we're like, hey, I don't remember exactly what we needed, but I think Luke wanted something from Academy, and then Isaiah wanted something as well. I don't know if Bobby wants me to say this, but I'm saying it because it was hilarious. So I don't remember exactly who drove. I'm pretty positive. No, Bobby drove because it'll make sense later. So we go to Academy, And I have a very small bladder. Like, I have to pee, like, constantly. Yesterday was the first time I ever peed in a bottle because B was on a rampage, and I had to pee so bad. And, like, I just have to pee really quickly to stuff. So, we were sitting there, and, we're shopping, and I was with Luke, because Isaiah took off a different spot, and I was with Luke, and Bobby just disappeared. I'm like, okay. So I was like, I gotta go to the restroom, I'll see you in a minute. So I go in the restroom, I'm peeing, and all of a sudden I hear, hey Mason, is that you? And I was like, yeah. He goes, hey, can you do me a favor? And I was like, what? He goes, Luke's not answering his phone, and I just shit my pants, and I need you to go get me some underwear and shorts. I'm like, what did you just say? He goes, I just shit my pants. I was like, no, you gotta explain. He's like, I'll explain in a minute. I just need you to get Luke, and he gave him his credit card, and he was like, just go buy me underwear, like cheap underwear and shorts. I need you to do this for me. And I was like, okay. So I ran and found Luke, and I was explaining to him, I was like, hey, your brother just shit his pants, and we need to go buy him. So he's like, what the So I was like, all right. So we looked, like we were like trying to find like cheap underwear, and finally we found some. I don't remember exactly, but we found some shitty pairs of shorts. And Luke the whole time, he's like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, your brother shit his pants. I don't know what's happening. So anyways, we get him the shorts, and we give it to him, and he's like, yeah, so what happened was like, I really had to shit. Like, Bobby has to shit, like, constantly.
Oh, yeah, every time I go to the bathroom.
And so he's like, yeah, I was getting by the stall, and both stalls were taken, and I couldn't get in, and I just shit my pants. I sharted a little bit. He's like, I had a fart, and it was not a fart, and I shit my pants, and finally I got in there. And I tried to call Luke, but he he couldn't answer his phone. And I was like, that's kind of embarrassing, but all right. So anyways, like we finished our shopping, and then so he threw his old underwear and shorts away, which he had nice like Nike shorts. I was like, I wouldn't throw those away, but that's besides the point. So we get to the car, and he tries to open the door, and he won't open, and we're like, what's going on? Like, we want to go home. He's like, fuck. And I was like, what? He goes, I left him in the shorts. So we had to go run to the bathroom, grab him out of the trash can, and then run away. And then finally we did go home, but that was the story I'll never forget. And then the time that my car broke down, we went to Medill Walmart. So me and Isaiah, we were trying to buy Halloween decorations for our room, because our room at the time was very bland. And we just went to Dollar General. So we go to Walmart, we look, and we find, I don't think we really got anything, which would kind of bother me. We didn't get a single thing from Walmart. But anyways, I get to the back of my car, I push start, and it doesn't start. Like, my brakes are locked. You know, usually when you step on the brakes, it already goes. Yeah. It doesn't go. And I'm like, what the hell? I do it again, and everything's blinking at me. And I call my parents, I'm like, what the hell's going on? Because I'm not much of a car person. Like, oh, I don't know what's going on. Is your parking brake on? Blah, blah, blah. Click it again. Still doesn't work. And then so finally, I was like, what the hell? So we go inside, because my dad's like, it's probably a battery problem. Go see if like someone knows how to do it. And I was like, okay. So we go in. This guy, by the way, my mom texted me. Anyway, so we go in, and this guy, by the way, he was not a help. Like, he had no idea what was going on. He was saying my transmission was out, and I was like, my car's not turning on, so that's not a transmission. And he was like 17 at the time, I think is how old he was. So he had no idea. So I was like, F you, like, you are not help to me at all. And so I remember Isaiah was just kind of there. He wasn't really saying anything. He was more laughing at the moment, but I was just pissed because, you know, when your car doesn't work, especially when you're like 5 hours from home, it kind of sucks. And so I'm sitting there, and so finally I get back in my car, and I call Bobby. I was like, hey, can you come pick me up? He's like, yeah. I was like, you need to come jump my car. Apparently him and Luke were out at the bank or something like that. And then so anyway, so they come pick me up, and I was talking to Isaiah, and I was like, we're probably going to jump my car, and I was like, do you know how to do it? And he's like, yes. And I was like, all right, because like I know how to jump my car, but like I was trying to do other things. I was trying to talk to my dad. I was like, I didn't really have time to jump it. I should have. But anyway, so Bobby comes there, I get my jumping capes out, and we put it on. Well, Isaiah puts it on. He put it on wrong. He put the red on black, and it like busted, and it exploded. Yeah, and actually, there was a crack in my battery the whole time when it exploded. And it was kind of raining, so that's what I thought it was. I didn't know he screwed up. But then we looked at it, he screwed up, and we're like, he just blew my battery up. So the car didn't work at all. What ended up happening was my battery was bad, But what happened was he blew it. It blew a fuse to my radio, so I didn't have a radio. So when we went home that weekend, I had to use a speaker.
Set a speaker.
Yes, for 5 hours, just to go home. But that day was horrible because we went back into Walmart and Bobby had to buy a freaking rug for his room, and it took him like 20 minutes, and I'm pissed. I remember when we went to McDonald's, I was like, hey, I asked the guy, I was like, hey, do you like living in Oklahoma? He's like, no. Still have a video to this day, but those are some memories that I've had here in Tishomingo.
We can move on to move back a little bit, right? You know, you're talking about Bobby shitting his pants, and he's trying to call Luke and not picking up the phone. You know, like, you've known Luke and Bobby for a while, right? Like, prior to coming up here.
I've known Isaiah longer, but I think I've known Luke longer. Bobby, I just kind of met like a couple of years ago, but yeah, I've known him.
So, a night back in, I believe it was September, if I'm not mistaken.
It was.
And the team, I think it was the team, I'm not 100% sure. I just know we were throwing a bonfire.
I was not there, that's all I remember.
I was there. And I just want to run over this whole night. So Cyrus, you know, my roommate at the time, he's like, I'm going to this bonfire thing. Like, everybody's going, you should come. I'm antisocial as hell. So I was like, I don't know, man. I really don't want to. I just want to stay here and do homework. He's like, dude, you gotta come. You don't have to drink. Not saying that I drink. I just, like, you know, I drink. But I wasn't going to that night. I wasn't in the mood. I don't know anybody here at the time. Literally, like, Cyrus is the only person I've talked to up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
And so he drags me out, and we take his car over there, and we get there, and he has a few beers, and I'm walking around talking to a couple guys, and Luke walks up to me. Luke is one of the guys that I'd known up to this point. I didn't know Bobby, like, at all. And Luke is hammered.
Yeah.
He was hammered. He was just, we were talking.
Yeah, because he drank before we left. Because I was in his room before he left, and he asked me, he was like, hey, should I go to this? I was like, I'm not going. And Isaiah was going to go, but I was like, I'm not going. Isaiah's like, yeah, I'm not going to go. But you can finish. I was just saying, like, he was already drinking.
Yeah, no, like, he was gone. Like, I'm walking around. I'm just walking around. I'm not drinking. I didn't feel like drinking. But, you know, we have our curfews. Mm-hmm. We have to be back at 12 p.m.
Only time.
Or 12 a.m., my bad. It was the first time we ever got past 11:30. It was the last time we ever got past 11:30. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, hey, Cyrus, you know, they made a big deal about this, like, 12 a.m. thing. Like, we should get back a little early, make sure we're back, because, you know, they did room checks on this floor at the time. Mm-hmm. And I was like, we should get back just a little early and make sure we're there. So we get back at 11:45, and, you know, we get in bed, we're fine, and we turn on a movie, and then I don't know if you said you were like half asleep at the time, I think, whenever it all happened.
Because where I was, so I was talking to my dad, we were talking about something, and then I saw people coming back, so I hung up and I went inside. And then I kind of laid in bed, and I was just kind of on my phone, about to just go to sleep. That's where I was about.
And, I mean, like, I'm sitting here, we're just waiting on room checks at this point. Just so we can check it, go to sleep. And my phone just starts blowing up. And I check it, and I just see, yo, Luke just got arrested. Luke just got long with Mexico, you know, Little Mexico, all this stuff. Just, like, phone is rushing. I'm sure yours was too, and you're just like...
Well, I had mine off, so I didn't know. Isaiah was the one that told me about it, because he's like, yo, Luke just got arrested. And I was like, no, he didn't. He's like, no, look at the group chat. And I looked at it, and it was just bam, bam, bam. And I was like, oh my God.
Well, so Luke gets arrested. The whole thing with Bobby happens, and the night ends at about 3 in the morning. Whenever we get a group text from the head coach. Says, mandatory team meeting at, what was it? Was it 10 a.m.? Something like that. Mm-hmm. We all know we're about to, like, so we have an airport down about 1.5 miles down the road. That's what they make us run if you get in trouble. And you have to run there and back. And so we're just ready. We're ready to run. I think some people were saying 25 airports. Like we were already just hammered down.
Mm-hmm.
What were you thinking at the time? Like, you knew we were getting punished. It's just...
Well, at first, when he got arrested, I was more concerned of where he was.
Well, obviously.
And so, then finally, he was like, yeah, he went to jail. And I was like, all right. I texted my dad because I was like, what the hell just happened? And then, I remember, because me and Isaiah, after it kind of all happened, we just kind of, like, sat, because, like, me and Isaiah really never, like, had these, like, we're, like, great friends, like, we have heart moments, like, we actually generally, like, it's like we did argue a lot, like a lot, but like we generally, like, I can say this about Isaiah, like there was moments because people were like, you hate him? I was like, no, I don't hate Isaiah. I've known him since like 6th grade. Like we know, like, hey, like we know when we're mad at each other, we know, like, you know, not to mess with each other, or like when but like generally when we know when something's wrong, we can generally be like, hey, like we need to talk this over. Like if something's wrong with him, he tells me, like, he tells him what's wrong, and if something's wrong with me, it's kind of vice versa. But we both kind of sat there and were just like, what the hell just happened? Because, like, we know, like, Luke is probably done. Like, we just knew he was cut immediately. We were just kind of like, maybe he'll be okay with it. But then the second part was like, hey, we're going to run. I was just like, I didn't go anywhere, so that kind of sucks, but it's just like, I was more concerned, like, what the hell is Luke going to do? Because, like, I didn't know what was going to happen. And I was just like, we're going to run. That's all I knew. I was like, we're going to run. But it's like me and Isaiah were kind of like, really was like, what the hell is going to happen now? Because, like, Bobby is in freaking, I don't know where he was.
Oh, what was the word be used? He's taking a...
He was taking an emotional drive.
Emotional drive to Norman, right?
Yeah. Like, I didn't know exactly where it was, but all I know is Bobby bought a hotel room and then didn't get to use it.
And had to spend the rest of his money to bail his brother out of jail.
Yeah, he had to do it the next morning. Because I remember me and Isaiah woke up and we immediately went down. And I don't know what time. I don't remember exactly what time he bailed him out. I think it was like really early in the morning. But I remember we woke up and we went down there and we're like, Luke, and I remember just Luke is like just defeated because like you know like when something happens, like you just know, like
you're done.
It's like not that you're just dumb, but it's just like life is about to change and you know it, you just don't want to face it. Like it's one of those moments. And it's like, you know, we're still young and like usually like in high school you get like, hey, don't do that again. But like in this situation, like you just know, like it's like basically what I explain it is like when someone dies in your family and you just know, like, you'll never see them again. It's kind of the same way he kind of was like. It was just like one of those defeated, like, I messed up. And it was just like, it was, because, like, it hurt me because, like, I'm not in a situation, but it's like, you can see it on someone's, like, damn, like, it was there. Like, he had it. Like, because he probably would have been on the roster at least.
Oh, for sure.
Because he was pretty good. And it was like, you just saw, it was just like, damn, like it's done, it's over. And so, you know, we were talking to him and like, there's really not much words you could say, because you can't say you're an idiot because you don't want to tell someone that, but it's just kind of one of those like, hey, how's it going? Like, just not talk about it. And he's like, yeah, I fucked up. And I was like, we know, but like you don't want to say it. And then it was just one of those, because we started joking around. He's like, yeah, I saw I think he had like a pink or something jumpsuit still in the car. I was like, you got to show me it. And then we looked at the ticket that he got, and we're just like, damn, like you really just got arrested. Second week, it was like second or third week in here.
Yeah, it was we weren't here long.
I was like, oh my God. And I just remember we got to the field and like everyone's just like talking about it, and you just see Luke just like, it's like I'm making how it feels like, but like, you know, when you're pitching and you give up like 4 runs and you're just getting crushed and like you just by yourself on the mound, like when you're grooving, you're just, you know, pumping, everyone behind you is like there, you know, you can have the whole team, like when you're just struggling and you're just on the mound, like it's the most loneliest place. That's exactly,
it just feels like you're
that's exactly what, because I saw him and he was just like there, and I was like, that sucks.
He was just like, he was physically there, but mentally he was like,
Yeah,
you could
because
tell he was struggling
he had
to
to
figure
go-
out what the hell's, like, what is he going to do?
Yeah.
I've 100% been there. I know how it feels.
Because his dad, he had to go meet his dad for his birthday dinner that same day. And so he had to go meet his dad and say, hey, I just got cut from the team and arrested. The same day. And, because after, that was the worst, by the way, the worst punishment I've ever endured in my life. I'd rather roll than do what we did.
Okay, so, like, the baseball field, for context, the baseball field is probably about, what, like, 1,000 yards that way.
Probably.
And so there's a main road right here that runs all the way up and around campus. It's not a huge campus, but, like, you can tell the campus is there. So we meet at the baseball field. We have this big meeting. Like, it probably lasts like 30 minutes. And you could just tell, like, the head coach was extremely disappointed. Everybody's being quiet. Like, none of us knew. We knew what was going to happen. Like, we knew Luke was probably done.
Yeah.
But, like, we don't know what's going to happen to all of us. And the way he decided to punish us was give us I'd say it was about a mile jog. Pretty close to that.
She really did make it as long as possible, though.
I mean, like, I think it was just the fact that we were jogging, and it felt forever. But it wasn't, like, something that, it wasn't, like...
It wasn't horrible. Like, I could do that.
It was the, okay, so you just jogged a mile, right? No big deal. Now you're going to nobody has their phones.
No.
We're now going to sit in the library, or there's a room right across the library, like your typical college room, I guess. And we're all going to sit in here. We're not going to tell you how long we're going to sit in here.
It was about 2 hours.
Yeah, we were in there for 2 hours, yeah. But
I watched the time.
We figured it was going to be like
the whole day.
I felt like it was going to be forever, and I'm like, damn, I got homework to do. Like, I was thinking about 100 other things. And he passed newspapers from the local newspaper all around. Everybody got one. Handed us all a copy sheet.
Mm-hmm.
We had to copy random articles, word for word, top to bottom.
And if you did not have it word for word, you redid it. If you stopped, you redid. Like, we redid the time. If you stopped, you redid it. If you were talking or you looked up, we redid the whole thing over again.
And, our head coach is pretty big about music.
Yes.
So, he starts playing a song, like it's an older song, and I don't even think anything of it.
Mambo Italiano.
Yeah. I don't think anything of it. And then it plays again. And again. And it played for the whole 2 hours. Like, it was all we heard.
Yeah.
Like, I really didn't think of that being part of the punishment until about the 17th time in. I was kind of like, what are we doing? Like, and then it really hit me like, oh, this is part of the punishment. It's like literally like a military insane asylum kind of thing.
Because the writing part wasn't that bad, and it sucked, but I mean...
Papers.
I could do that, because you can slowly write.
Yeah.
But like, listen to the same shitty song over and over again really drives me insane. Because like, after the 10th time, I'm like, dude, I literally can't take this much more.
I think I was biting my lip. Like, it was literally causing me stress. Like, it was...
And like an hour in, like, at this point, you're just singing it because like you have nothing else. And by like an hour 30, you're just like...
You lose all sanity. Like, your sanity was gone.
Yeah, you can sing the whole song at that point, and you're just like...
To this day, I think I can still.
I remember I called my mom, and I was like, Mom, I love you. Like, it was that bad. Because she was like, what's wrong? I was like...
Just know.
Just know.
Just know I love you.
It was terrible.
I called my grandpa and I was like...
I went through hell.
Have you ever, like, heard of this kind of punishment? And he's like, yeah, like, that's what they do in, like, legitimate military camps. That is your punishment. Like, if you, for some reason, oversleep by 3 minutes, you are getting locked in a room. You don't have to write, that was part of it. But he said they will lock you in a room for 24 hours and just play the same song over and over again.
I couldn't do that.
Yeah, like, that's...
I just remember Eck was, like, saying... We understand that your body is hurting, but he's not gonna make y'all run. And I was like, what is he gonna do? Like,
By the way, we're 3 weeks into school, and we've already They were like little scrimmages in between us. We've already played like what at that point 10 games.
Yeah,
Like-
and so we were kind of hurting. Like a lot of us were hurting. That's when my bicep
Working out
really
every
started.
day.
Yeah, my bicep was really starting to kill me, and I was like, I don't know if I could run right now. And like he was like, you're not gonna run. You're not gonna run. You're just gonna do a little jog and that's it. And I was like,
A little jog.
I was like, okay, well then that's it. Like, nope, you're gonna sit in a room. Because when he started handing us the papers, I was like, okay.
I figured it was gonna be like one of those things like we're gonna write down what happened 1,000 times.
Yeah, I thought
That's
it
what
was.
I thought. That's what I thought. That was.
And then he played music, and I was like, this ain't that bad. Like, we're just gonna write off a newspaper for about 2 hours. That's fine. And then it played again, and I was like,
That's a little weird.
he did that on accident. And then he did it again, and I was like, please, God. And then it did it again, and I was like, son of a bitch, this is what's gonna happen.
It's gonna be yeah. It took me about 17 times before I realized that like this was part of the punishment.
Yeah.
I legitimately just thought I was like, does he just like this song? I that was cruel and unusual punishment right there.
Yeah, it was.
So another thing I wanted to talk about was, you're obviously your goal is to be in the MLB. We talked about that way at the beginning. You're probably, I do this a lot, so I figure you probably do. You connect a lot of things to baseball, just in everyday life. If you had to pick any lesson you've learned, whether it be like on the field from a coach, just baseball rules, whatever, pick like the best life lesson you've learned from baseball.
I probably have a couple of them, but probably stuff that I've learned that you learned, like as in like in life in general, would probably, one of the things is like whatever, like if you're working on something or you're like trying it, and like let's say like a curveball, I'm throwing it, and if I'm just throwing a curveball and I'm messing around, like who cares? It's not gonna be good. You know what I mean? It's the same like if I'm doing schoolwork, if I'm just messing around, who cares? If I send it out, I'm not gonna get a good grade. But like if the curveball, if I'm working on it and I'm actually getting it to spin how I want it to, and I keep on working, it's gonna be one of the best I can possibly do. So that's probably one of them.
Just like work everything to 100%.
Yeah, and then probably another one is like the most typical basic, you fail. Like baseball, you will fail. Like last game, I gave up 3 home runs. Like you're gonna get a home run. Like it's just how life is. And it's like one of my biggest pet peeves in baseball, at least when I pitch, and like because I'm probably, since I'm not playing summer, I'm probably gonna coach a little summer league team. Well, I know most of them, but like one of my biggest pet peeves is watching people. If you give up a home run, the one thing you do not want to do is walk the guy right after, because then you're just giving up. You basically just gave up. You're now screwing yourself because now you have a runner on base. Everything changes. So like, if you give up a home run, you just go back out, like throw it back out there, because what the worst he's going to do again is hit another home run. You're
basically saying like the whole, if you fail, get back up. If you fall, get back up.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. Because like, it's gonna happen. Like there's gonna be things that are just it's gonna suck. Like you're gonna get put in situations. It's like, it sucks, and sometimes you're not gonna know how to get out of them. But at the same time, you can't just sit there and just quit, because if you quit, then you're never gonna be good. And that's with everything. Like when I was talking about my car breaking down, like I was pretty pissed off. But I mean, if I was just like F the car, like I don't really care anymore. Like it's probably gonna be still in Medill Walmart right now.
Yeah,
and that's just like a little small deal, but it's just like you have to like, in a sense, like you gotta keep on going. And I know that's like a basic, everyone says that, oh, you fail, like that's life lesson, but like I mean that is probably one of the biggest ones you can learn. And plus, like another thing is like you can't be a pushover. Like especially on the mound, you cannot be a pushover. You can't let people just bully you out of there, or you're never going to be anywhere. If you just let people push you off, like from the mound, just like scared, timid, and you just,
that's how it was in the fall.
Yeah, you're just like, if you just let it happen, then if you don't have some big dick energy, people are just going to push you over, and you're never going to get looked at, and you're just going to be a random pitcher on a team. Because like in a way, you think about it, who, let's see, who's a big energy guy that's in the MLB?
MLB big energy guy, but I'll say Bryce Harper.
Okay, so everyone knows who Bryce Harper is, right? But does a lot of people know who, let's say, Jeff McNeil on the Mets? Not much of an energy guy. He's just a contact guy.
Your casual baseball fan that's not a Mets fan probably does not know who Jeff
Exactly.
McNeil is.
He's not. I mean, he probably gets hype in big moments, but he doesn't really. He's a contact guy, not a home run hitter. But everybody knows who Bryce Harper is. But everybody knows who Pete Alonso is.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Home run guy. He's a celebration guy. Like, this is kind of how it is. Everybody knows who that guy is. So, I mean, I kind of went off a little tangent there, but it's like one of the things you just got to be mentally tough out there, and you have to have some big dick energy because you're just gonna get pushed over. Because it's like a job. Like, if you just let them push you over.
I mean, I think that, like, I was thinking about this last night. That's the reason this question came up. When it comes to like sports in general, I feel like baseball definitely like is the most like comparable just to life as a whole.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like, so like obviously you have the basic one, like it's the biggest team sport. Like, you can't just have Mike Trout on your team and make the World Series every year.
Mm-hmm.
Basketball, you can have LeBron and you're gonna go far.
Mm-hmm.
So like teamwork. You've heard it since you were 5. Teamwork makes the dream work, right? Like,
yeah.
I feel like that's a big life lesson. Obviously, the one you said, the failure, you know, from young age. I swear, I've heard it from my first year in Little League all the way to I probably heard Coach B say it 100 times. It's a game of failure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just what it is. Well, life, if like we're all, no human is perfect. That's
No.
Definitely, I feel like leadership. It helps a lot with leadership. Playing baseball definitely helps a lot with like even the guys who, I'm not gonna say followers, right? Like on our team,
Mm-hmm.
for example, like the guys who aren't very vocal about their leadership. Right?
Yeah.
You move on. Like, let's say I go and work at Apple, just a random company I can think of, and I'm the boss of a team, and I played baseball. I feel like just like listening to the guys talk and how they directed and led, whether they're a great leader or not, like it would help you know how to lead a team.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like most leaders you hear, like big time, like I was gonna say Steve Jobs, but I don't know about Steve Jobs, but like most of the time they're big sports guys, like because teamwork really is like a huge deal.
Yeah. And another one, like, back to that failure thing, because my sophomore year, I was being retarded, and I threw a ball, and I landed on my wrist and broke it. Well, I missed, like, majority of the season. I actually came back at the end, and then I went to that summer. Actually, the first time playing on OSU's old field, which I was like, this is a D1 field, this is terrible. Now their new one's amazing, but besides the point. That year, I actually did horrible. Like, I'm talking about, I was still hitting at the time, but I did horrible. I was pitching horrible. Like, it was bad. And I remember I was sitting there, and my parents were getting mad at me because, like, they're like, you are doing terrible. Like, this is not going good. Like, they were thinking I was supposed to get offers now, and I was like, well, I've never really seen a junior unless they're like freaking like they're about to get drafted talent. And like I remember I just got so like down, like I almost quit baseball. Like, it was honest truth. I would not have been here to this day. And I'll explain in a minute, but like I literally, because I remember me and my parents were talking about it. We're like, we're done. Like, we're not playing summer baseball anymore. We are just going to.
It's time to hang them up and think about what you're going to do.
Yeah, we're like, we're going to finish high school out, and then we're going to think about, okay, what are we going to do? Like, what career are you going to go to? Because like legitimately, we're like, you're not playing college baseball. Like, you're not doing good. And like the coaches there were terrible. Like, they just put me down every day. And like I literally never really like thought of myself of being good, because that was one of the things of like being confident in yourself is another one to think about. It's because I was not confident in myself, because like I was thinking about, here's another day where I give up 8 runs. I'm going to strike out this or that. So you can say I've learned confidence, but like, because one of my biggest things that I've learned in baseball in general is confidence. Confidence is the key to success. If you don't have confidence in yourself, you're never winning a game. Like, if you go out on the mound thinking I'm going to get shelled, you're going to get hit and you're not winning a game. So like I had basically this whole story I said is what I've learned from confidence is the key to success. And so, anyways, I remember we were talking about parents, and then we got into high school, and I never really worked out. I just went to the gym, just whatever. I was skinny, didn't really care. Because, like, at the time, I was already better than all my friends. So, like, I was already at the top level, and I never really thought of, like, being better than what I already was. And so, there's a thing, because if you see it on my cleats, it says SB on it, and no one really knows what it means. I just, like, I don't care, because I don't really like expressing it that much. I'll talk about it if I'm just by myself, but I don't like telling a group, because it's kind of weird. It sounds weird, but it makes a lot of sense. It stands for Swim Buddy. So our high school coach, what he did is he paired people up. This was mainly because of me, because I was a little shit. I didn't care about baseball. And plus at this point, like, I'm about to quit. I didn't really like baseball anymore. And you get paired up with a person. And so, like, you work out with them, you hit with them, you train with them basically for the whole year. And you're basically, the older person's supposed to help the younger kid.
It's like a what do they call it? I think they have it in sororities and dance whenever.
Yeah.
Big and little.
Yeah. And so at the time I was just like, we were just kind of like, I was thinking at first, I was like, I'm just going to have a new friend. He was older than me, so that's cool. I really didn't think much of it. But, like, he really did teach me how to lift. But one of the biggest moments, like, eye-opened me, because we were hitting. And at this time, I never really hit good. When I was young, I was hitting good. But, like, at this point, like, my confidence is, like, down low. And so I was talking to him, and we were just hitting in the cages. And he was like, are you going to go? And I was like, probably not. He's like, why? I was like, well, you know, I'm not going to hit. Like, I was shitty in summer. Like, I'm not going to hit. All I'm going to do is pitch here. Like, that's all I'm really good at. And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, I'm just not the kid. He goes, why? Why would you even say that? And I was like, I don't know. He's like, literally, you're just defeating yourself. Like, what the hell are you doing? It's like, what are you talking about? He's like, if you sit there every single day and you think you're the shittiest player in the world, like, you're never going to be good. I was like, I'll be honest, I don't even like baseball. And I was like, well, why the fuck are you here? But he's like, because, like, I just want to be with my friends, but it's like, I don't show up and think, like, I'm going to be ass. Like, I come here, like, yeah, I probably not going to play baseball in college, which is really good, but it's like, I don't come and think, like, hey, I'm fucking terrible. He's like, I'm the best baseball player every time I swing the bat. And it's like, if you go out there and you think you're terrible, you're not going to be good, like, what's the point? Like, he's like, you're going to be in the lineup. We all know that. You're going to be in the lineup. You're good enough to be in the lineup. Like, you just got to, like, hit better. And then literally the whole day we just worked on the swing, and I was just like, I went home and I was like, what the hell? Like, what the hell did just happen? Next day, literally worked the shit out of me in the weight room the next day. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what is going on? Next day, we get in the cages, and he literally made me swing constantly. He never took a swing the next day. Like, this guy's fucking, like, he's actually trying to help me. And I was like, thank God. And so we kept on working every day, and he actually became one of my good friends. And actually, that year, I batted leadoff for my junior year of high school after I just went from the shittiest year of my life. Like, I'm talking about to quit. Junior year, finally hit my first home run ever in my life. It was a leadoff home run to start the game. First pitch, which we were home, but besides the point, I'll still take it. Ended up throwing a no-hitter that game. And then senior year, I mean, we hit Corona, but I actually hit 400. I will take that to the day I go to the grave. But, and I actually got an offer from Murray State College from here. And I remember after I got the offer, I called him and I was like, thanks. Like, literally, if it wasn't for you being there, I would not be here. And he's like, no, that was you. I was like, no, like, seriously, like, confidence-wise and just in general, I would not be having a chance coming home from a college saying, hey, we want you to come here to play here. I wouldn't have had it if it wasn't for him.
You actually signed as a catcher, right?
I did sign as a catcher, which is funny now saying that, but it's just like the point of it's like, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. And that whole year, like, he basically made me grind the shit out of everything, because, like, it got to the point where we started battling because I wanted to outlift him. I wanted to, like, beat him in a race. So, like, he did things to, like, make me want to beat him. Like, he would just talk the most shit. Because, like, when your friend, like, say if Cyrus is, like, talking shit to you, you're going to want to kick his ass.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what he would do. Like, and I wasn't even thinking about it. But, like, when the season happened, I remember, like, it was just kind of an accident. Because I do this here with Cam and Corley as well. I don't know if you do it, but, like, when you're playing, you go up to him in general. Because, like, you look up to them. And I looked up to him. And so, like, you go up to him and you talk to him about stuff. Like, something happens, you're like, hey, like, what? Like, how do I do this? How do I do this? And I remember I would just find myself going up to him and just talking to him. and just baseball. And then sometimes we just talk about life in general. In the middle of a game, like we're tied 1-1. I'm on the mound like the 7th inning, and I'm having to grind pitches, but we're just sitting there talking about like life in general. And it's just like
it's sometimes it is like against Hessen, right?
Yeah,
we're beating the hell out of them, whatever. But Cam gives up that 3-run home run. He's fucking pissed.
Oh, he was pissed.
He's pissed. And like I see Cameron a lot like what you're talking about. Like he's a lot like that to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I talk to him about life, whatever. And you've been around Cameron, man.
Oh yeah.
You don't fuck with him. Like this, he on his own.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what made me like, so he's pretty much one of the only people here that have been like, I don't throw 90, which is like a lot what you were saying earlier. Like my confidence in the fall was like, just coming here and just seeing everybody throw like 10 miles per hour faster than me. And I'm sitting 76 or whatever because I'm just like, my arm doesn't feel right, don't feel good, I'm not confident at all. And I'm just getting shelled. Anytime I throw, it's just boom. Like for literally second hitter of the year, Sage, throw a ball, he hits it 400 feet. And, Cameron starts talking to me probably about midway through last semester. And we start talking pretty much every day. He's like, I'm going to work with you. We're going to make you, like, you do belong here. He was like one of the first people to tell me that here. And, I take the winter off. Like, we get up winter break off. I did the throwing program he gave us, but like very limited throwing. Like I try to, if I don't have if that sheet does not say throw today, I'm not picking up a baseball. I'm just like mental break. I need a way. And then we get back in the spring, and I'm like, I didn't get cut. I'm like, I obviously like somebody thinks I deserve to be here. So we get back in the spring, first inner squad. Cam walks up to me. He's like, dude, just go out there and fucking throw. You don't have to focus on throwing 100. Just today, focus on getting the first out, second out, third out. Throw your 30 pitch inter squad game, and you're good. And walk out there. I literally didn't feel like the same person. Everything felt so much better.
You threw really good.
It's literally just a confidence thing. Like,
it is.
Confidence is such a huge part in
because you threw
baseball.
A hell of it. Because you were hitting like 84, 85.
Yeah.
So we did the stalker, and it was like 70. I was like, oh, this doesn't seem right. Because I was like, someone else was throwing. It was like 70. I was like, that don't seem right. And then Reagan was like throwing 50 fastballs. I was like, that's not right. Like, you threw a hell of a fucking game.
I think Cameron pulled out his pocket radar. He said I was throwing a lot harder than the stalker was saying. But yeah, it was just like, it's definitely a feel thing. Like, I have my two hats up there, and both of them say confidence right here. Like, confidence is just a huge thing.
Yeah.
And, like, you're just talking about how it literally just took confidence from I almost quit baseball to now I'm our number 2 guy when we're pitching in conference.
Yeah, because
we're playing our second conference game of the year. I'm pitching. I'm the starter.
And like after him, we did it the next year in high school, and I had another young kid. He's probably my best friend now to this day. I still talk to him. But like my whole goal with him was to be like, hey, because I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if he'll probably watch this, but I'm just saying he is one of the best baseball players I've ever seen play the game. Like his swing is beautiful, and I don't like saying this because it gets a little bit too much in his head. But like he is probably one of the best baseball players I have ever seen, legitimately. And I'll say this to the day I die. Like he is one of the best, and like I was hard as shit on him, and it's like he probably was mad at me for majority of the time, but like I was around him 24/7, and I was on his ass, like fucking just hammered him. Like if he did this, hammered him, and it's like I didn't do it because like I was trying to be a dick. I knew because like he could literally go farther than I could.
It's the same shit that the guy was doing to you.
Yeah, it's like what Cam also did. It's like I know his potential. He's just not giving it, and it's like he is really good. Like if he really wants to go D1, he needs to go to JUCO first because he needs to. He just needs to grow up a little bit. That's in my opinion. He doesn't need to grow up, but everybody needs to grow up. Everyone needs to grow up at one point. So I'm not saying it to down him, but like everyone needs to grow. I need to grow up. like rooming with Sage, Joey, and Emor made me grow up. I'm not gonna lie. It make you grow. Like people you room with makes you grow up. But like the point is like I harped his ass, and like there's other friends that I have that I'll help because like the summer team I'm a coach. Like there's some of them like I know how to fix some of them, but it's like him. Like we were together like 24/7. So that's why we became good friends. So it's like I harped his ass 24/7. Like every time he did something, I was calling him like, dude, what the hell is your problem? But I mean, I love that kid to death, and I will literally give everything to get him to move on. But it's like when you get helped, for one, you want to give back because that's just how baseball works. If you keep it to yourself, you're a dick. Like everyone has different spots. Remember we talked about this in Midland. Like everyone has their certain things in baseball. No one knows everything, but each person knows something. And if you learn it, you got to give it back because it's just how the game works. And it was just like I was sitting there with a broken wrist, about to quit baseball. Like I'm about done, and I had someone who literally picks you up. Like everyone usually finds that one person in life that will just restart you. Like everyone needs one of those people because like if you don't get one of those people, I feel like because like if he didn't help me, I was done. Like I was done with baseball. But luckily he came in out of nowhere. But it's like if that didn't happen, I wouldn't be here to this day. So it's like I went through this whole hell. Like I was at rock bottom, and now I'm finally starting to peak. Like, and I have this kid who's molded to be one of the best, but he's raw talent. He just needs to work and just move on. And it's like what Cam did to you. It's just like basically you're lighting a fire in his ass and you're getting him going. Like you just got to get him just to go because like if he doesn't really work, he's just gonna be a wasted talent. And that's not what I want him to be. One of the best baseball players he's ever been because he can be. Like he has the chance to be in the major leagues, 3-hole on a World Series team. I can see it, and everyone knows it. You just need to someone needs to get in your ass a little bit and be like, hey, you need to fucking do this shit. Because like in the weight room, like, and it all started in junior. My junior year, I was literally, my wrist is broken. I'm complaining. I'm like, oh, I can't bench. My wrist hurts. And he's like, quit being a bitch. I'm like, what? He's like, no, we'll start off light and then work on it. I remember we did dumbbell bench and I did 40s as a junior, and I'm struggling on them. By the end of my junior year, he made me go do 65s. It was just like a big jump like that. And I was like, junior year, I was like 85, 84, really doing that. I mean, I was doing okay, but then I went up to 88 senior year, and then now I'm here throwing 92. And it's just like one of those things. It's like if I didn't have someone there telling me, hey, figure it out, like you just need to have confidence in yourself, then you'll be fine. That's what I want to do to him, just give him confidence. And that's what Cam did to you. But like that's why I want to, next year I'll probably help someone. Because also another point is like the kid that I'm talking about, my good friend, he's taught me a lot more about baseball than the kid who helped me move on, my first swim buddy. I'll call him swim buddy 1, swim buddy 2. And he helped me start my career. But like the other one, like my best friend, like he's taught me more about myself than anyone else has, because like I'm trying to help him and I'm seeing stuff he does and I'm like, damn, I do the same shit. Like my effort's piss poor. And it's like I have to keep on lifting because that son of a bitch is stronger than I am. He's a junior in high school right now. He's stronger than I am. And I hate to say it because it pisses me off, but he is. He's stronger than I am. Like he would just hit home runs like with ease, and I have to get my whole body into it. I do throw harder than him, so get fucked. But it's just like the point of it's like I have to lift to stay the same as him because then he's gonna make fun of me. And so I have to keep on lifting. I have to outbeat him. And it's just like little things I have to keep on like show dominance. But it's like, he really did teach me a lot, and I do thank him every day. Like, yeah, I did call him, but I was like, honestly, I still text him to this day. I'm like, hey, like, thank you. And he's like, for what? You helped me? And I was like, no, you helped me more than you think I helped you. It's like, yeah, I kickstarted you up, but like, you did help me. And so those two people are probably, other than, my parents, are probably the two most important people. But like, in that whole story is like, confidence is really the key to success. Like, if you want anything, going back to your question, as we talked like an hour into this, like, confidence is really the key to success, because if you don't have confidence in yourself and you think you're the shittiest player, for one, you going into it, you're gonna you know, you're going to do shitty. Like, your fastball is not going to have more life on it. Your curveball is not going to have the spin you need. And it's like, when we face Eunice, if I go in there thinking I'm going to get railed, like, this team is going to kick my ass, like how a lot of people on our team did, which pissed me off. Like,
oh, dude, I'll tell you in a second.
Like, some people come up to me like, oh my God, they're number one in the country. I'm like, that's what you dream for. Like, that's your break in life. Like, to go against the best of the best. If you, like, it's like one of those things, I remember who I was talking to, but it's like, someone was like, yeah, if I face the Yankees. I was like, literally, you have nothing to lose. Because, like, if they hit you, you face the Yankees. Oh, well. Like, yeah, you just got shit on. That was just supposed to happen. But if you dice and you do really good, you get looked at. Like, that's a dream. That's a dream what you want. Like, it's just one of those situations. It's like, you dream for that moment. And so, like, when you, like, go into that game thinking, I'm going to get shelled, you're going to
get shelled.
Yeah, and it's
you're
like,
not gonna
if I go into Eunice game, I'm not going to pitch as well than what I normally do. I'm just going to go out there and, like, oh, well. Because, like, a couple times in the fall, my velo was down, my arm was hurting, I was like, oh, I'm throwing them, getting hit. And I'm like, well, damn. But then, you know, I'm finally like, okay, we get my arm back. We start actually throwing good games. Start versus other teams. You start getting your confidence back up, and you start actually throwing good. Like the, I think it was the Tyler game where I finally actually started, like, big dicking and, like, actually started showing confidence, not just, you know, pitching good. But it's like, I gave up that home run that hit the foul pole. I could have shut down then. Next inning, come out there, home run dead center, and I'm like, damn. Again, I could have just gave up there, but it's like, you can't, you just gotta go out there, you just gotta know you're better than your team. Yeah, and it's like, again, like the Eunice game, like, if I go out there just think I'm gonna get real, like those first 2 innings, I went off, never happened. Hit 92, probably would never hit 92 if I was just like, I'm gonna get shelled. But, you know, if you just go out there and just like, hey, you're going to win, like, you have a chance to win this game, or this team is literally dog shit, then you have a better chance. Like, the team that we just played yesterday, I got home runs hit off me. I mean, yeah, on paper and looking at them, they're bigger than me. They're stronger than I am. But, I mean, and they're probably their starter. I'm pretty sure that kid threw harder than I did. And, like, Corley, you know, he got hit, and it's just like all those things are piling up, and I could have just said, fuck it. Like, he lost, I'm going to lose. Like, I'm not happy that I gave up 3 bombs and 4 runs, but I kept my team 7-4 lead when I left.
Oh,
that's all you really need to do.
The fact that, just think about the fact that what you're doing outside the home runs. You gave up 3 home runs and you left the game up 7-4.
That 0 walks, 5 Ks versus a team that
10 in the
last game
10 in the nation.
Yeah, and like last game we only got 6 strikeouts. Cage went off. He had like 3. I don't know how many Corley got.
But I think Corley had 3. I think they had to combine 6 in 6 innings.
Yeah.
You went. Did you go? You went
6 and 1/3.
6 and 1/3.
Yeah.
Struck out 5.
Walk 0. Like what? 80 pitches.
80 dead even.
Yeah, and it's just like one of those things. Didn't even get to a 3-2 count. It's just like if I go into that game thinking, damn, like, I'm gonna get bombs. Like like you're gonna give up home runs. Everyone knows it.
I mean, shit. They hit. I think they hit
8 on the day.
They hit 5. No, they hit 9 the whole day.
Oh,
they hit 5 in the first game.
5 in the first game.
And so you go out there and was it the first pitch you give a home run?
It was the second pitch.
So your second pitch, they've already hit 5 today. So you throw it, hit down the line. Kind of looks like it's gonna go foul and it stays fair. And you're like,
at that moment,
that's their 6th home run of the game.
Yeah, at that moment, you're just thinking like,
you literally
could win these games.
You could have literally been like, well, they're about to hit about 5 more off me, but no, I mean, obviously they hit 2 more, but you leave the game in a 9-inning game. You threw 2/3 of the game, and you leave the game in the lead.
Yeah, I mean,
it's potent. That offense is potent. Like, I know we play them again tomorrow. I feel like we've been talking about for the last 24 hours at this point, but like,
they're good.
They're good.
Yeah, they're really good.
They beat us. We did not lose. They beat us.
Yeah,
it's just how it is.
I hate how people Like, especially when we go in that Eunice game, they're like, we're going to get shelled.
Oh, yeah. I went, my last summer ball game last year, coming into this game. So, like, 2 weeks before we moved in, we were playing this team, and it was a doubleheader that day. I get there, I'm a PO, so obviously pull up second game, like 20 minutes before the second game is supposed to start. Go sit in the dugout, and I'm just chilling. I don't even think I have my clothes on, like my baseball clothes on yet. I'm just sitting in the dugout. And a couple of the guys, one of the guys that just got pulled from the game, the first game starter, he comes and sits next to me. We're pretty good friends. And he looks over, somebody points out that this team we're about to play, they have I think they had 2 A&M commits, 3 OU commits. Like, they're just nothing but D1. That's all they are. And they're like, dude, if you get run ruled, we understand. And I was like, it hurt. It honestly hurts a little bit when people say that shit. Like, it's like, you really I don't care if they're D1, they're going D1 or not. They're not there yet. They're going to be on the same field as me. Like, so I was kind of like, fuck y'all. And go out. I'm pretty sure after a 4-pitch first inning, I fell apart. Like, the second inning, I think I walked 4 and gave up a hit. And then, so it's 3-0, and I left that. It's a 7-inning game because we're still high school summer ball technically. I left the game after 6 innings. I struck out 10 guys, gave up 3 runs. The 3 runs in the second inning while they scored. Fucking, it's just, you can't be okay, this team. There are teams that are better than us. No matter who you are, you could be. Unless your name is Jacob deGrom or Mike Trout, there are always people out there better than you.
Yeah.
And even when you're the best in the sport, you're going to lose. So you can't be you notice how you see no-hitters thrown, and very rarely it's the Jacob deGrom.
Yeah, perfect games are some randos.
Yeah, you heard of them once. Yeah, Clayton Kershaw. I don't even think Clayton Kershaw is the best pitcher, honestly, up there all time. Don't even think he has a no-hitter.
He has 1 versus the Rockies.
One versus the Rockies? That's it?
Yeah.
You're literally talking about possibly the best pitcher of all time. And he still gets hit. He still gives up home runs.
Yeah, worse in the postseason.
Obviously, but
he still goes out there and he won a World Series and dominated 2020. Even though it was a weird season, but still, he went out there in 2020 and dominated, so.
You can't just be, doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter if you throw 99 or if you throw 79. Seriously, you can't just be Yeah,
because Corley had some rough starts, but.
This kid's going to kill me. These kids are going to kill me. But even if they kill you, if you're out there and you're competing with them, I don't care if they're winning. They can win. Yeah. Just don't beat yourself.
Because Corley, he had past couple of starts, it was kind of rough, but I've seen him go against people and I'm just oh my god,
he's unhittable.
You were dicing him up and you're throwing 78, 80, and I'm sitting here throwing 86, 88, and I'm getting destroyed to the wall and he's just dicing. I'm like, how the hell is this happening? But it's just if you watch him, he's big dick energy, just Jack Leiter, just
nobody can hit me. No. It's just, literally, I think, and you take your first college start against
post-grad.
Not a very good team.
No.
We've beat them 5 times at this point.
And I
think I can say it. And you gave up, you threw 3 innings, gave up 9 hits, something like that. Gave up 4 runs, and obviously that doesn't sound horrible, but the team's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that and then,
bad. They had a couple of good hitters, but.
You can tell you were kind of I'm going to say timid, almost nervous. And then you get out to Tyler, give up the home run, and then 2 innings later, strike a kid out to end the inning. You do a little Marcus Stroman shimmy off the mound. Everybody's laughing. It just brings the energy up. I think. Did we end up losing that game?
Yeah, because I left.
Have you left a single game when we were losing? Since post-grad? No, I think we were even winning in post-grad. Have you left a single game this season where we were losing?
Every single time I've left, we were losing, except the Odessa game. It was tied because he just hit that home run. It was tied.
We were losing when you got.
No, we were winning. I just gave up the
yeah.
home run. They tied it, and that one left to tie.
That's
So
the
postcard
only
was the
time.
only one I left losing because Doink came in, and we were like, it was
Were
like,
we even losing?
Yeah,
I don't think we were losing. I
we
think
were
still.
because I got the no decision because Doink came in. And he got the win because he came in, but every other game I've went in, I've left tied or winning.
You've definitely looked better with each start. Obviously, the game against Odessa was, I think, was probably your best.
Probably, even though I'm still mad about that home run. It's still flying to this day.
It was a bomb. But like, you went 7 innings before you came out in the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
You went 7 innings, 7 Ks, 1 walk, 3 hits or something like that. Like you were just. You looked a lot more confident.
Yeah, because each start you get better. Because, like, I don't remember who I was talking to, but I think I was talking to someone at home. They're like, why do you post on your Instagram so much? I was like, to be honest, majority of it is like, I post stuff on Instagram to give myself more confidence. It's not to show up somebody.
It's not to like big dick people.
No,
it's legitimately just.
Because if you think you're the best out there, no one can beat you. Because, like, before we played that game, because we were losing at the time. Oh, my bad. We were losing. It was like 9 or it was like 8-7 or something like that, and Trey just hit the home run. And so, for one, like I know this, I'm about to have to, I'm building myself because like this is a good team that just hit like 5 bombs first game. So I'm like, okay, because like I figured out ways to like calm myself down because sometimes you just need to calm yourself down. And so what I had to do is, I don't know if anyone saw me, but I had to go up, I think Javi saw me, but I had to go up behind the dugout and I was walking, pacing, and I had to put my headphones in, listening to music.
Oh yeah, I saw you.
And I was pacing more of like, because I wasn't freaking out, I was more like ready to go, like I was ready to just fight somebody. I haven't even had pre-workout or a bang yet. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm about to have to like destroy these kids.
It's just like pure adrenaline.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not gonna pace myself. And then, Kobe gave up the home run. And like at that point I was like, all right, we need to go. So I'm still listening to music and Javi gives me the bang. Thanks to Javi. Shout out to him. And so I'm drinking it and I'm like, I'm going to have to like Eunice was a different kind of confidence. Eunice, for one, our bus broke down and everything is off whack. I woke up at 5, bus broke down, it's a 4-hour drive, everything is just not right. But like at the same time you hit this is the number 1 team in the country. We need to get on track now. Like this, we need to go now. But like this one, I was prepared the whole game. And like, you just got to sit there and be like, okay, this team can hit, so just know if it's hit, you're going to have to pitch a little bit differently, but if a home run is given up, who cares? Like, at the end of the day, I'll probably never see that kid again, but, like, that left number 6, he'll probably go far in baseball.
Oh, that kid's good.
Like, he went 3 for 3, but at the end of the day, like, you got to think about it, you have, 7 people behind you who at least have a good chance. Pitchers always have a good chance to win, even though sometimes you feel like you have no chance. Like there's sometimes you'll pitch like that Texas Postgrad game. I feel like there's no chance of getting it out. Like sometimes it happens, but like you just gotta think like, okay, as long as I don't hit over the wall, which it'll happen sometimes.
Especially when you throw hard.
Yes,
like, they're gonna run in.
Yeah,
That's
me and
exactly
Cam.
what I just said to Kobe yesterday. It was like. It looked like it was right down the middle, I think, to y'all, because...
No, we didn't see it. I honestly didn't see it.
It was honestly, like, right on the corner, dude. This kid was just... He got extended.
No, you just got...
To hit it. And I was like, if you throw 4 miles per hour less, there's a chance that ball doesn't carry as far, but... like, you throw hard, you're going to give up bombs. It's just how it is.
But, like, you're going to give up home runs, but, like, there's 7 people behind you. On paper, there's a better chance of you getting an out than it is for them getting a hit. So you just got to think, well, I know today my breaking ball has been just good. I've gotten many people on it. So no one can beat me on it. And then, your fastball, okay, well, I worked on this in the bullpen. I mean, I've struck out 80 people. I got it to 92 before. I have that ready to go. I can sit 88, 86 and be fine. But I have 92 in my pocket just in case of like you need to ramp it up. So I mean, you just got to know that you have stuff there available for you instead of just thinking these guys, number 32 is going to come up and hit a bomb off me. It's like, no, he can only hit 3 or 4 times in a game at most. Well, not at most, but like at least.
Typically.
Yeah.
An average game, he's going to get 4 at-bats.
Yeah, and so like, for one, he gets a hit whenever you got the next guy, and you could dominate this guy. Like that lefty, he went 3 for 3 off me, but the rest, I at least got out at least once or twice in that game. Leadoff guy, whatever, he got his hits, whatever. It's gonna happen. There's some people just gonna have your number. But like that number 32 kid only hit 1 ball off me off the wall. The rest was a horrible flyout that he looked horrible on, and then the second one was a strikeout. It's like, you can't think like, if you face Mike Trout is going to hit a home run off you. If you have 10 at bats with him,
he's going to hit one.
He's going to hit one out. Like, it's regardless.
Doesn't matter.
But in the game of baseball, he is at least guaranteed at least one out. Now, he could hit all 10. It is possible. But you have a better chance. Like, if someone would bet me $1 million right now that you would get him out at least one time, I'm taking that odds. Because there's at least a chance.
You think about the best pitchers in the MLB, or the best hitters in the MLB. And Mike Trout, for example. Take any pitcher in the MLB. Literally, the worst. I'll take the worst. And even though he's on his team, Alex Cobb versus Mike Trout. The chances of Mike Trout getting a hit is 30% chance. And he is the best in baseball.
Yeah.
He's got about a 30 to 35% chance of getting hit. I would take an odd of getting him out one time, 100 times. Like,
yeah.
You ask me 100 times, every time I'm saying, taking it.
It's just like, so I hate it when people come up to me and say, hey, like, because we were talking about my room. I don't remember who was in my room. They were like, yeah, we're gonna get rocked, and I was like, why? Like, we have Corley. Corley usually gets outs. Cameron is going out there. He usually does really good. He actually did really, really good that game. He actually did really good. And then I was going out there, and I'm not trying to like put myself out there, but I was like, I know what I can do. I know I have a good enough chance. And then Tubb, I mean, his first start, but I mean, Tubb really did do really well, like for his first start. And so it's like, you can't really just like.
We an unranked Murray State College.
Yeah, and we
walked into the number 1 team in the nation's own place and split with them.
Yeah, Cyrus with a big bomb. Because, like, again, in the Cyrus situation, Cyrus is like, oh, we're losing the game.
Oh, dude, it's 3-2, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th in a 7-inning game.
What's the chance of me? Yeah, what's the chance of me hitting a home run?
With runners at first and second. It's like your dream backyard scenario. But he's not thinking home run.
No.
One thing he did really well was, I'm not thinking home run. He did exactly what that kid did to Kobe.
Just long.
He got extended on a ball and hit. By the way, Cyrus is a very good hitter.
He is.
And he works really hard at it. So, like, that work paid off in that one at bat. But, like, pitcher, you have that at bat. You throw that same pitch 9 times like 9 more times. There, you have a 70% chance of him getting out of that pitch rather than him hitting the ball over the fence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes you just gotta tip your cap, walk away.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal.
But like Cyrus could have just gave up. It's 2 outs. End of the game. Just let's get to the next one. We'll probably figure it out. No, he battled, and there was a check swing he did not swing. And I was kind of scared they were gonna call it, but he did not swing. But like he could again. He just folded 2 strikes, whatever. It's number 1 team in the country. We lose or whatever. We're not really losing.
We're not
much.
expected to win. But
I mean, he just battles, and then he got a pitch to hit, and then raped it. So, confidence in the all is confidence is the key to success. And if you don't have confidence in yourself, you are not winning a baseball game. That's basically all. And like that's with every team. Like the Orioles have a 0% chance of making the postseason. Legitimately, they don't. If they somehow miraculously, like they probably won't, but it's never 0. I don't know how they gave him. I don't know why they gave him 0% chance of making the playoffs. I don't know who did that, but like they could literally come around and be the best team in baseball.
And to be completely honest with you, they're not even the worst team in baseball.
And they have some pieces, but it's just like if literally us as the Murray State College, we could literally be number 1 ranked if some of us would stop being as selfish.
That's just.
And like I'm not saying it was like sometimes I get selfish.
I mean everybody's gonna have like a little.
Everybody's gonna have selfish.
We all want to move on. Everybody's here because they want to move on. So yeah, we're all gonna be a little selfish. D1 players still are selfish. They want to move on.
MLB players are selfish sometimes.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how Mike Trout is, but Mike Trout could be selfish. like, I'm not just throwing everybody else shit. I'm selfish too. Like, I probably, like, if we all, like, come as a team, it's like, and we all have confidence, like, hey, we're like, cause, I mean, you have Bish, he's good. Keaton, really good. Like, those two are, like, again, one of the top baseball players I've ever seen. They're really, really good. And you have those two, I mean, they rake. I mean, when is the last time you've seen really Bish go over in a long time, and Keaton going over? It's rare.
Especially hitting both of those in the same game, never. I don't think it'll ever happen.
Like, every time I face Bish, I don't think I've only got him out one time. And then you got, Seymour at first, Ethan Moore at third. I mean, just a good combo. Trey Wer's starting to hit the ball now, and then Joey, and then whoever really is playing left.
Cyrus, platoon.
Yeah, I mean, him hitting DH, and then you have Noah who hits. I mean, like, we have a really good lineup. Like, if I'm facing the lineup, I mean, I'm not gonna go up there timid, but I'm like, this is gonna be I'm gonna have to grind.
It's a tough game.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to grind.
I faced our hitters 1,000 times. You have to. Everybody here has, obviously. I would choose to throw against Eunice 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, we have a really, really good lineup.
I obviously didn't get to pitch against Eunice, but, like, I was on the side that Eunice is the best team we're going to see out here. But
this one and the team we just faced, those top two.
Tonka was pretty good too. Well, that's going to be rough. But yeah, no, like, I legitimately think we have the talent. We 100% have the talent all around.
Oh yeah.
To dogpile at the end of the year, as Coach B would say.
And, like, our staff is really good, and so we have, like, Cage showed it yesterday that he has it. I mean, he's really good. Deport showed he's been really good. Javi, 5 for 5 saves. I don't want to jinx him, but I mean, lights out.
I tried to.
Grimsley, like, he, I mean, yeah, he's had some rough spots, but I mean, there's sometimes he is literally untouchable. Like, and it's amazing me. Like, he is untouchable.
2 innings, 6 Ks. Like, nobody even hit a foul ball.
And it's with ease, and it's just like, we have the stuff. It's just, I wish sometimes we would come together more and just, like, there's obviously we're gonna lose games. Like, yesterday we lost. Like, we got beat. Yeah, and it just happens. But, like, we literally have people that are, like, really, really good, and we're gonna move on to big schools.
And the way you can show that is the fact that, like, when we get here, we're undefeated.
Yeah.
Literally, we're 3-13 on the road, and we are 10-0 here.
And you know what's funny? 2 of those wins are at Eunice.
Yeah, I know. Like, two of those 3 wins out of the 16 games we played, we won 3 games, and 2 were the best team in the nation.
Yeah.
But, like, then when you get down here, everybody, like, gets together. We all show up. It's just like we're all ready to go. I don't know if it's because we don't have to sit that damn bus or whatever, but
yeah, I don't know either. Like, we do have, like, everyone has flaws. Everyone has a bad day. Everyone has a bad day. There will be a day where Bish goes over. There'll be a day where I, get pulled in the second inning. It will happen at some point. Everyone has a bad day, but I mean, on paper, we probably don't look good, but in general, like, if you just watch people, they're really, really good. Like, I don't know, like Bish. I mean, when he made that play the other, what was it, the first game? That sliding play in the hole?
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, how was that even possible?
Like, that was...
And then Keaton, when he made the over-the-head catch, I was just like...
Yeah.
I was like, thank you, because that saved my ass.
Oh, you were pitching when that happened?
Yeah, because when it got hit, and I watched him run dead, like, he was running the wins, I was like, here we go. And I was like, those are 2 runs, and then he just makes the catch. I was just like...
I completely forgot about that.
No, I remember it. And then it was just like, we have a really good team. We just need to come together more and have more confidence in ourselves. Is really the majority of what that was.
I think we had a pretty good conversation here. Honestly.
Pretty long on one little topic.
Yeah. What are we at? Does that say 128?
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're good enough to end it.
Yeah.
It's pretty early in the morning. Is there any, do you want me to shout? You can shout out whatever you want. Instagram.
No, I'm good.
Nothing?
I'm fine. Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I'll shout out my friends. Nathan Burton, the first one, buddy. Aiden Slott, the second one. That's pretty much it.
Fair enough. Luke Ramirez.
R.I.P. to that man.
But thanks for coming on.
Appreciate it.
I'm sure you were going to be deep because I posted that on my story that you were coming on.
Mm-hmm.
I think I had 4 different players slide up and say, yo, when do I get to do this? So, I mean, I'm sure you're going to be the first of a few.
Okay.
But I definitely think this was a good way to start off the Murray collection of podcasts we got going on here.
Yeah. If you want me, I'll come back on again.
Oh, for sure. I'm going to want you with Cam or something. If
Cam's knowledge in baseball is real.
I definitely need you, Reagan, and Tubb in the same one.
I don't know. I would probably lose my shit if Tubb was in the same room as me. Because, like, Tubb pisses me off. Like, I love him to death, but sometimes, like, he'll just say stuff and you're just like, Tubb,
I'm going to need a tap. And then Reagan added on to that. You might. Then because it would be something great to catch on camera.
Yeah. Like, if you get Cam on here, I will at least want to be here because Cam's knowledge in baseball is really, really good. Like, he is smart.
Cameron's knowledge in pitching is really good. He does not know anything about baseball. Fun fact.
Okay. Well, yeah, his pitching knowledge, because I've learned a lot from Cam. A lot.
Definitely. Especially when it comes to mentality and stuff, which I think we had a really good conversation on there at the end.
Yeah.
But, like I said, thanks for coming on. Got to know a lot about you. A lot about... I think we had a really good conversation about mentality, and it's definitely something to build on. I don't know, maybe you thought about something while we were talking that you really didn't think or don't think about very often.
What do you mean?
Like, maybe you don't think about the whole confidence thing.
Oh, well,
maybe you went more in depth into it than you thought you were.
Yeah, because
you could.
My confidence was down low, and you do learn kind of towards. I mean, when you move up in baseball, it gets harder and harder, and sometimes it's really hard to have confidence in yourself, and sometimes it's really hard to like believe in yourself because like what you said, you came in, you're throwing low 80s, and you're coming up and you're seeing people throw 90 because like you see a D1 it's like 95, 98. One of my friends throws 99 at Tech, and you're just like, there's no way in hell I'm getting there.
I think I told Cameron like 2 nights ago. I was like, just want you to know that I would sell both of my balls to throw 90.
Oh yeah, I've literally just throw 95. Like Jack Leiter just 99, 97 this last pitch of a no hitter. You're just like,
I would sell both of them. I would give up my kids. Like,
yeah, and it's just like, but like sometimes you just gotta go out there and just think like you're the best damn thing that's ever lived.
Oh, yeah.
Because, I mean, yeah, a Division II junior college game probably doesn't matter to the whole country, but
definitely matters to us. I think
it matters to you. That's it. All that should matter is to you.
Because if you don't prove yourself at a JUCO D2, what's to say you're going to prove yourself at a Power 5 D1?
Yeah, and when a lot of people are watching you.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of like maybe like 10, 15 people that show up, your parents, family, and then maybe if you're lucky, 10 people watching from a live stream, if we even have one.
I don't think, 9 times out of 10 we don't, but...
Yeah, and so it's like, if you can't have confidence in yourself there, then...
What are you going to do when there's 250, then 1,000,
yeah,
3,000, then,
it's like
as it goes up.
Clutch situation. If you've never been there, you'll never succeed at it.
But, yeah, I'm going to let you get to bed.
Okay.
I've got a long day tomorrow.
I won't be doing anything anyways.
I won't either, so...
I'll literally probably be doing a chart.
I'll be doing music.
What are you doing? Well, I thought you do Game Changer.
I do.
You have to do both of them at the same time?
And the camera.
That's nice.
Yeah. But, like I said, thanks for coming on. You sure you don't want to shout anything out? Instagram, Twitter?
No. You can probably put it on the description.
I'll link your Instagram. Do you have a Twitter?
Yeah,
I think I follow you on Twitter. But yeah, I'll figure it out. Anything I want linked will be down below. Also, not important to you or anything, but if you're watching this on YouTube, the link to the Spotify or Google Podcasts, you can listen to it over there. You can start listening to it over there whenever you can. If you're on Google Podcasts or Spotify, you can switch over to YouTube if you want to watch us while we're talking. I don't know, some people like that, but that's it.
You clap.
Those gorgeous blue eyes, they look even better when we're sky high. If we can leave this place, wouldn't you love to run?